He found out this past Monday that his wife of 12 years was having an emotional affair with an old flame from her past. Her AP was her first boyfriend. They were chatting via Facebook and apparently sexting too. They were going to physically meet up, but he caught it before it happened. His WS was dumb enough to ask if he minded if she went to dinner with her old BF who was coming to town in a few days. He a very trusting husband and said yes at first but had strong reservations. Later that night he had a strong dream that they were fighting about her going to dinner with this guy. That dream was so strong that he started digging into things the next day. He felt horrible because this is a woman who he has trusted for 12 years with his full trust. On her Facebook and found this guy once he found him in her friends. He found their chats. He was so shocked, he could not believe what he was reading. She was telling him that she loved him on every chat, and she was even calling him things she called him. This was so devastating to him. They had also talked about how they were going to see each other. He confronted her when she got home from work that day. She said it was only harmless flirting at first, but he kept telling her he knew more than she knew he knew. He called a bluff and asked her about the physical affair when he wasn't even sure if she was physical affair with him or not. She admitted to it. He asked her how long this was going on and she said at first a year, then said it was maybe a year and a half. She still tried to say that it was just something stupid she was doing, and it meant nothing. His gut tells him different. The inflection in the chats, along with all the emojis, tell him this relationship was very serious. She also denied that she would have gotten physical with him. She claimed that she had decided after all that she was not going to dinner with him early that morning after she asked him. He doesn't believe that one bit. He's devastated and still cannot believe this is happening. 12 years together, never a fight, she was his best friend. They did everything together. Now this is so heartbroken and numb. Reader comment, has she cut off all contact with AP? Blocked him on FB and sent him a no-contact letter. This is what scares the heck out of him. Original poster, he cannot be for certain that she has cut off all communication with him. He checks their phone records daily and nothing. However, with all of the other means of technology out there, he just don't have a clue. The day he caught her, she offered to block him and to delete her Facebook. Unfortunately, he did not see her do this, but is pretty confident her FB is deleted because she no longer shows up in any kind of FB search. He took pictures of what little chats from FB there were as she was deleting history as she was going along. However, he did have enough from 3 days to reveal what was going on. She is being very sneaky, something he never knew she could do. He has evidence that she deleted things from her iCloud account as well. A lot of the evidence has been wiped, is sure, but if his gut is correct and she is still trying to reach out to him, he will catch her because he's on to her now. Reader comment, first off, I agree with pretty much everything that has been written above. Here is your quandary. You had to confront immediately in order to avert what was certainly going to be a consummation of their online affair. But in doing so, she was able to cover her tracks by deleting and now possibly going underground. That leaves you with not knowing if sexting is just dirty talk or if it is pictures and videos, and to what extent. Also, where does this sleazebag live? If he isn't that far away, then I would be quite surprised if it hasn't gone physical. And even if he lives farther than that, but you or your wife have been out of town, then steel yourself for the possibility she has already crossed the physical line. Additionally, I feel an illicit relationship crossover from an emotional affair to full-on cheating once sexting, particularly if visual sexual content has been shared, even if they have not met in person since this began. Think about this. Does your wife sext with you? Does she send you sexual pictures and videos? If she did that for him and not for you, she is engaging in a level of intimacy with him that she does not with you. However, if you want to consider reconciling or if you want to end it, but are on the fence, you'll probably want to investigate further and see if you can stomach trying to continue a life with, or if she just crossed a line that you are unwilling to continue from. Some questions. 1. Do you have kids? Are you good with technology? Are you willing to have her take a polygraph? Original poster, to answer your questions, they have kids from other marriages, none together. He would like to think is good with technology as an it guy and have been for over 30 years. The whole polygraph thing never occurred to him but wouldn't know where to start at this point. He appreciates the support and justification that everyone is giving him. He knows he's not crazy in thinking it was a serious affair. He did something that you all have recommended. He reached out to the alm's wife. We will see if she responds. He told her he has a proof in the chats and would be happy to send some to her. He is nervous about this sort of thing. They live all the way in Florida and he is Colorado, but it still makes him nervous. Passion leads people to do dangerous things. Is watching his back. Original poster, hi all and thank you again for all of the advice. He did hear back from the POSOMSW and it was strangely a short message basically saying sorry this has happened to them. It's over between him and his He won't put up with his cheating. He would have thought she would have asked for more info, but okay, his thinking she already knows has a cheat and is cutting to the chase. Not sure and he don't care at this point. He did what he had to do and let her know. Reader comment, that is an awfully short response for a message that triggered a life-changing event. Maybe this was the straw that broke the camel's back. But are you certain didn't intercept your message? Original poster, actually, that was my first impression that intercepted. He really appreciates the support and advice from everyone. He's so still in shock about it all. He wakes up every morning dealing with it as mornings really make him think. There is a part of his that he does not know, a part of her who he never knew, thus the shock of this whole thing. A piece of him is gone now, that piece that made him feel whole their entire relationship. At times he feels like there is a stranger in his house as for being a marriage cop. Yeah, he get it, it's too exhausting and will drive one insane. It's not him and not who he is. He does starve to know information and he do starve to try to make sense of this whole thing. He does know in his heart of hearts that it will never make sense unless he just chalks it up to that's how all humans are. He knows it isn't true because it's not how he is. He has been 100% faithful and 100% committed to his marriage all of these years. As for the POSOM and his wife, yeah, he's almost 100% sure it wasn't her responding to his message chat to expose the whole thing. He thinks POSOM responded to it. It just doesn't add up. He does not have any other info on her without doing extensive background checks. Is it worth it? Maybe if he knew for sure that she knew. He still suspects there may be contact between his WW and POSOM. He doesn't have any concrete evidence but just a gut feeling. This all was too powerful to just stop without one of them giving in. But who knows, he could be totally wrong. He does know and do feel like this he was very strong given what he does know about his W and her nature. If he's wrong about that, then he has been living a lie his entire marriage. But hey, maybe he has. He hasn't responded much just due to the shock of it all and trying to work on the marriage. She tells him she loves him, and he tell her he loves her too because it's true he does still love her so very much. She also told him more than once that it's over with the AP and she wants him or no one else. He wants to believe that he does, but when someone who betrayed your trust is asking you to trust what they say, how do you know? Is also hesitant to post here if in the event she finds this site and has read his posts. He wishes there was an underground part of this forum to post without the public seeing it all. So, he posts conservatively. Some of you have IM'd him and thank you, your advice is very helpful. He's seeking counseling for those who have recommended it. He has an appointment next week. Update, sorry it's been a while, been working on reconciliation. He really appreciates the recommendation of the book Not Just Friends. It's a great book and his W read it with him. He started reading it first because he wanted to know what it was all about, then about the first few chapters in, he told her he wanted her to read it. She did and it has helped them both. He thought he had gotten the whole story, but as others have experienced, more came out later. Most recently he learned that there was a lot more to the sexting. Actually, a lot more to the affair. It had turned into a BDSM master-slave relationship. He would command her to send pictures of different body parts or a vid of her touching. There were several video chat sessions between the two of them touching with one another. They had even consummated a marriage with one another. This is why he called her his wife. She called him her Hudson, meaning the whole dominate submissive thing. The latest news on the BDSM thing he thinks upsets him more than any other part of this affair. She still claims there was no physical meeting whatsoever and that this was still an emotional affair. He still keeps thinking there may have been a time when it was physical. He feels like it was very serious and in light of the master-slave thing, somewhat scary. Most days are good, and they have had some great times spending time with one another. Is still traumatized and know he will be for a long time. Lately he has struggled with the BDSM thing big time. This came to light not by her telling him about it but about him finding out. He found where in many pictures they have of her a necklace that she was wearing. It cropped up in pictures dating back to when the affair began and disappeared in pictures after day. It was a necklace that had what appeared to be a wedding ring on it, but it was more of a choker. Come to find out, it was not a wedding ring. It was a collar, or at least a symbol of a bondage collar. It was made to be discreet. She wore that collar necklace all of the time, even with jeweler that he gave her. This is what he's struggling with as of late. He has read a few more books and is in therapy. He just found out this whole BDSM BS 2 weeks ago. Thank you all for checking up on him. At this point he's still working towards reconciliation but often wonder many things. He cannot imagine his life without her, and he hoped that she is as committed to fixing their marriage as she says she is. How do you know anything they tell you is really true? You don't, and that is what makes it so hard. She is a risk now and will be for as long as they are together. That is just the hard fact of the deal. His rhetorical question about how you know anything they say is true was meant for after the fact. Moving forward. He wasn't referring to the affair timeline. Reader comment, in my opinion it would be better for your wife to pledge her undying love for the than this. She wore a symbol that she belonged to her in front of you and the kids. I'm sure the got off on her doing that to you. Original poster, again, very good point. He thinks he have been minimizing the weight of this issue. Your comments are spot on. He knows nothing about the BDSM scene, he guesses a bit naive. Reader comment, surely by now you must be absorbing this is a lie. Your wife gave herself body and soul to another man. She donned a submission collar for him. There's really no way this was not physical. There's another betrayed husband here just like you who also just found out his wife donned a submission bondage collar for another man. Original poster. Yes, from the beginning he has had a gut feeling that this went physical at some point in the almost 2 years that it went on. BTW, who is the other BH you mention? He would like to read his posts. Thanks. Reader comment. I've been thinking about the question of whether this affair was ever physical. He thinks it had to be at least once. They got married as a part of this affair. A marriage has to be consummated. Please ask her who attended the wedding service, what did they do for their honeymoon, and then ask the question of whether their marriage was consummated. He thinks, with all of the detail and ritual they went to, it had to be. Oh, and did he send her the choker? Where is it now and what else did he send to her? These are indeed good questions to ask her. Thank you. Original poster. She claims she purchased the choker on Etsy, but from everything he has been reading, this sort of thing is given to the submissive by the dominant. So possibly another lie. Update. Hi all, it's been a while and is still healing. Been through a lot of counseling since his last post. He has hesitated to post here for fear of his WW reading it, but he has found no evidence of her visiting this website like he originally suspected. So here he is and wanted to update you all. Looking back through his posts, he found where the collar necklace was indeed purchased by her on Etsy. It was not given to her from the not that it makes much of a difference. She also wrote him a letter of commitment and read it to him word for word of her commitment to him and only him and to their marriage. She has shown him that she is working hard and is committed. He got his timeline, although he realizes there is probably a lot in that timeline that runs deeper than what he got, but he got a timeline. He has been happy with that and have tried to move on. It got hot and heavy in October 2019 and there was lots of disgusting video SX that took place. His wife did things with her body that he never thought she would do. And yeah, he would tell her he owned her time and time again. He would command her to do things with Opus when he and her were to get intimate. He would continue to command pics from her too. When COVID hit in 2020, Opus started working from home. She had no way to video SX with him anymore, at least from the house. The video sexting would all take place after he would leave for work. There was about a 2-hour window before she had to get ready for work after he left. Since he has worked from home, she said the video sexting had come to a stop. But he knows she still continued to set him pics when she got a chance. He does know that she still had a strong relationship with him even though the video SX slowed down. And that damn collar necklace. He found selfies of her that she took in just about every picture she was in during family gatherings etc. from 2019 to D-Day May 2021 she was wearing it. It almost never came off of her neck. The affair is bad enough, the video SX is bad enough, but her wearing that collar necklace was the worst part of this whole thing. He also found selfies of her that he never got, so I'm sure he got them. Fast FWD. To now, they are still together and have had some good quality time together. However, as of late things have been hitting his gut and he realized this is all part of the process too. He has scoured everything from internet logs to devices and to date have no evidence of any further contact between the two of them. She has gone out of her way to show him she is sorry and he can see that she is remorseful. They have worked a lot in counseling. However, he still feels in my gut that they may have had contact since D-Day. He has found no proof, but why is this feeling in his gut? Is it a premonition or paranoia or is it real? He does not know, but he still wonders. The one big thing that still hits him hard is the loss of the love joy. They say joy is being happy for no reason at all, you are just happy. While with his wife before D-Day he had that with love. He was in love for no reason at all. That was lost after D-Day and even though he still feel love for her, he does not get that joyful love. It's gone and he may never get it back. He wrestles with that because it was great. When he thinks about what his life would be if he decided to leave, if he could ever find that joy again. He doesn't think that he ever could with anyone else again. He has learned that humans are human and what he had was a fantasy. It was false for him to ever have that with her, but he did. He was a fool to live in that joy although it was pure bliss and he miss it. He often looks at her and realizes she is not the person he believed her to be. She never was and probably will never be. Can he live with that? He still doesn't really know but is pushing forward. He feels like he's still in the early part of this thing even though it's been 5 months since D-Day. He does desire to spend the rest of his life with her, but he wonders if something will get in the way along the way. He realizes this want comes at a price. He knows he will always feel this. He does know that if there was ever communication again between her and the that he would be done for sure. It would be the answer to his unknown destiny in this marriage. As for the OBS, if you have read his previous posts, he never believed that he actually was in contact with her and that it was the who was responding from her FB account when he reached out to let her know. After some digging, he could never find her phone number, but he did find their address. He typed up a letter and included some of the chats and sent it to her. He did this just today, so he will keep you all posted if she gets the letter. Hopefully it won't be intercepted too, but even if it is and that POS reads it, he will know this hasn't been swept under the rug on his end. He thinks he got away with it and maybe this will scare him. He takes a little pleasure in that fact. Her FB posts are full of how proud she is of her husband, Blah blah blah, so he knows she still doesn't know. Maybe now she will, and he feels bad for her to get the news, but IMO she needs to know. Reader comment, it's totally up to you how you want to handle this. No one else gets any say so. Original poster, this is probably the best advice he has been given here. Every situation is different. He feels like he's being ostracized. If he's wrong about the direction he's taking, he has been the first to admit it and eat crow. But for now, he's taking it day by day like all of us do. As for R, he did not leave her, and he did not kick her out by his choice. So what else is there other than working towards R? Thank you. Update, the OBS got the letter. He will be talking to her tomorrow. He doesn't know what to expect. This is him somewhat relieved because now he knows it's been exposed on both ends finally. Reader comment, is your WW aware that the letter was sent and received? Original poster, he has not told his WW about any of this. He figured it would also be a good test to see if she finds out. If so, that would mean the POSOM would still be in communication with her. Opus talked to the OBS today. As you can imagine, she is in shock. He told her all that he knew. The POSOM told her the same cookie cutter thing that his WW did. Oh, it was only fantasy and didn't mean anything. Blah 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 BS. He told the OBS to remember that cheaters lie all of the time. She agrees that it was much more than what the POSOM was admitting. She told him when she showed him the letter he was as white as a ghost. She also told him she told him to leave. He also tried to encourage her with some of the things he has learned here, like it's not her fault no matter what he says, and that she will want to know more as she works through this. He offered her answers to any questions that he could answer. Now she knows and has a lot of info from him. Her and he both agreed to contact each other if either of them finds out any more additional info. Talking to her brought up a lot of emotion in him and a lot of anger. It's almost as if he was reliving D-Day all over again. However, he does feel a tremendous relief that his ass has been exposed. Thank you all for your support. Original poster, thank you. This was a huge win for him as he had almost given up on trying to contact her. It's a very sad win, however. He feels such sadness for her and her family. He cannot help but feel very bad tonight, but he realizes none of this is his fault, and that he never asked for any of this BS. So, thank you all again. She has to bear the shame of her actions. Why should he be the one who protects her from this? It's her scarlet letter to wear. He knows that sounds harsh, but that is how he feels right now. Talking with the OBS yesterday has brought up a lot of anger. As for his kids, they are all old enough to handle it in